Hello everyone, this is Priyanka Rajput from CSG Korea. I'm the business analyst with CSG Korea, and today we are going to talk about sourcing and contracting in Business by Design. So Hari will present this meeting. So Hari, can you start it? Yeah.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Hari Krishna Chaturvedi. You can call me Hari. So today I'm specialized actually in SAP Business by Design, and today I'm going to demo like sourcing and contracting part. Okay, so uh, SAP Business by Design having the capabilities of sourcing and contracting. So sourcing allow you and your company to plan and determine your long-term purchasing activity and uses request to quotation, RFQ, and contract management processes to achieve long-term cost saving and improved services level among chosen supplier. Okay. Sourcing users RFQ process to enable you to identify and select suitable new supplier and to identify and manage relationship with existing supplier with the best price in order to meet the routine purchasing requirement of your company, right? It involves the definition of requirement of your purchasing department for a product through the identification and selection of the most suitable supplier. And finally, the creation of purchase order of the negotiation and creation of a new purchasing contract is the main key. Okay. So I will show the same thing in system.
Okay. So we have Mr. G with us. Thank you for joining, Mr. G. Okay, he's joining. Yeah.
So if we talk about the sourcing and contracting, sorry. So we have like the sourcing request coming from two parts. Okay. So sourcing request either can arise from the contract or either sourcing request can arise from the purchasing request. Okay. So if we already have the contract and if we want to do any negotiation, then we can go with this uh, sourcing part. And also like if we have any purchase requisition coming from our purchase department, and then we can go with the sourcing part. Okay. So I will show you like how this sourcing request can be purchase request. So if I move to the purchase request here, so here you could see all the open request. So either we can assign the source of supply directly from here, or if I go to the all purchase request here, so whatever purchase request we have open, let's say this is for flat panel monitor, I can go and I can do the sourcing request. But if we have already done the sourcing request, it would not be enabled for the sourcing request. So let's say I want to buy the laptop, and then I can directly do the quick sourcing request from here. So if I do the quick sourcing request from here, then I could see the same thing in the sourcing request. So if I go to the sourcing and contracting and then the sourcing request, and if I go to the purchase request here, so I could see like the new one, which is coming from the sourcing request. Okay. So now if we have the sourcing request available, we can create a RFQ. Okay. And we can request a RF quotation from a vendor. Maybe I will do for another product. Okay. RFQ for, let's say, mobile submission deadline. Really sorry that something is going wrong. Post code must be valid. Bidder can add the item, bidder can submit it, change the quantity. So if I go to the delivery date here, so I will put, let's say 15th of August. Okay, then I can go to the bidders. I can add the bidder here. Let's say I'm sending this to AMS Inc., who is the preferable vendor to us. And maybe let's say we are sending it to the GSI Inc. So we are requesting the quotation from these two different vendor. I can save this. So we have like one inbuilt capability in SAP Business by Design where we can send the interactive form to a vendor and vendor can send the response directly from that interactive form. So they don't need to change the, they don't need to actually send the response, let's say only via email or maybe in any other format. So they can send the response directly through the interactive form. Okay. So if I go here, I will change the output setting. So I want to send the, here, I will put my email address. I'll copy and I will put the same email address here as well. And I will apply this email address. And then again, I will save it.
Hari, the one thing, actually, I saw your email was wrong. Chaturu, you missed R.
Just give me a minute. Let me check it again. Oh.
I have very close eye.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
So then I can save it again. I can check the request for quotation if there is any error, and then I can send it to the bidders. So once I'm sending it to the bidders, then that means I'm publishing this quote, request for quotation. So once we have sent it to the bidders, I can go to the request for quotation. Okay, I can see all RFQ here. So you could see this was the request for quotation which we created just now, which is having like two bidders. We haven't received any quote. We haven't awarded any quote, and the submission deadline we can see here, right? So if I click on edit here, and if I go to the output history, I want to see either the email has been sent successfully to me or not. So you could see like the email is successful, okay, and it has been sent to on my email address. Okay, so if I open my email address, so I have received the quote. Okay, so which is having like, dear sir or madam attached, please find RFQ 49. If you want to bid on this RFQ, please return your bid to me on or before the submission deadline. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact me by phone or email address. So what I could do, I can actually just download this. Okay, So I will open this request for quotation. So I got two emails because in both supplier addresses or like in both bidder addresses, I have entered only my email address. So I got two requests for quotation. So if I go and say request for quotation number 49, if I open this, I'll go to this option and I will open it from here. So when we have to open it, we have to open it through the Acrobat Reader. So I will open with Adobe Acrobat Reader here. Oh, sorry, actually I sent the simple code. So I would have changed it to the so I will just I will actually cancel this RFQ. I'll again go to the sourcing request. I'll open for, so sorry, actually I sent the normal form to me, which was not the interactive form. That's why I'm creating this again. So let's say RFQ for mobile, submission deadline, let's say 30th of June. And then this code will remain valid, let's say till 15th of July, only for 15 days. Bidder should be able to add the item. Bidder should be able to change the submitted code. Bidder should be able to change the quantity. I'm not asking for any tender fee, or bidder should be able to add anything after publishing. So if I go to the items, here I can change the delivery date, which should be like after the submission deadline. So let's say I'm asking for 20th of August. And now if I go to the bidders, I can add the bidders here. Let's say one is AMS Inc. And one, let's say the GSI Inc. And then I can save this request for quotation. I could go to the, you can, but this I'm doing because in the configuration, we have not actually saved the interactive form, but this is not to do every time. So this is one-time activity which we will do in the configuration. So I will add my email address. So I want to send the interactive form. I will put my email ID here. I'll copy and I will put the same email addresses even here. I'll apply. Then I will save it again. I can check it if there is any error, and then I can send it to the bidders. So once I have sent it to the bidders, I could see like RFQ with 50 sent to the bidders. I will go and see the request for quotation. If I will go all RFQ, if we have any approval process, then first it would go to the approval, and then after approval, it would go to the bidders. Okay, but if we don't have any approval process here, then it will directly go to the bidders. So if I click edit, I want to check either it has been sent successfully to the bidders or not. So yes, I could see like the status is successful and it has been sent to the like bidder's email address. So if I open the email address, which is currently like my email address, I think it's taking some time. So it's taking some time. Was successful. So I will resubmit it again. So this is for, yeah, on my email ID hari.chaturvedi@csgpacific.com. I'll resubmit it. Again, it is successful.
Oh, it takes some time.
Yeah, it's taking some
It's
time,
okay.
but yes,
Take it easy.
yeah, but I have the solution. I already have like one interactive form, which I sent earlier this week to me. Okay, this is like RFQ for purchase order. That is actually for the different quote or a different RFQ. Okay, so this is for the RFQ ID 45. Okay, by that time it is taking some time. I will show you the RFQ 45. Okay, so here I send the RFQ, let's say for the flat panel monitor, where we have only one bidder. We have already received 2 quotes. So here you could see like 2 quotes. I'm going to send another quote, okay, from the interactive form, and then you could see like the quote received number will increase to 3. Okay, so I'm opening this. I will, so supplier or that bidder will receive this kind of interactive form, okay, where bidder has to enter the quote ID. Let's say I'm putting the quote ID 110 as a bidder. Okay, this is for the request for ID 45.
Hari, sorry, we cannot see the 45 the RFQ. Are you showing the RFQ?
Okay, so I'll share my complete screen. So can you see this?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so here we have, so this is the interactive form which I have already received. Okay, this is actually for different RFQ ID 45. So what bidder has to do, bidder has to enter the quote ID. Okay, let's say I'm entering the quote ID 110 here. And then as we have given the option to bidder that, okay, bidder can change the quantity. So we asked only, let's say 1 quantity, but bidder can say, okay, we are offering you 2 quantity. Okay, bidder can also change the price, or bidder can add the price. So let's say this is for 1 million. Okay, that is for only 1 unit. Bidder can enter the supplier part number. Let's say that is any part number if you want. Bidder can add the comment, please consider my quote. Okay, and then if we have any incoterm, so bidder can add the incoterms here. If you don't have any Incoterm, you can leave that blank. Bidder can enter the payment terms. Let's say this should be 30 days due net. Bidder can also enter the comment and then can submit it. Okay. So once we are submitting it, or once bidder is submitting this quote, so it is just loading my email address. Okay. So it's taking some time.
New RFQ screen.
Yeah. So I can send this quote. Okay. So once I have sent this quote, or like once bidder has sent this quote, and then if I go to the system, and here previously quote received for the RFQ ID 45 was 2, right? Now if I refresh it, I could see the quote received are 3, right? So that came automatically. You have not to enter the quote manually into the system. Okay. So this is like, I can say like a very good functionality in SAP Business by Design. Okay. So if I want to see the quote, I can see the show quotes here. So currently we received the, let's say the quote number 48, okay, which is having, if I want to edit this quote, I could see all the comments from the supplier. Okay. So supplier has given like this much value to us. The price, I could see the price which is given by the bidder. So bidder has offered actually 2 quantity to us, right? And then if there is any notes or something from the bidder, we can see like remark from the bidder, please consider my quote. And then if we want to directly award this quote, we can award this quote. But let's say if we want to compare more than one quote, so I can select all these quotes together. So let's say if I want to compare the quote, I will click on this compare quotes here. I could see all those quotes here, quote 1, quote 2, quote 3, right? So we can do the commercial analysis here. The quote ID, the quote status, the bidder quote ID. If bidder has given any Incoterms here, if there is any payment term, okay, this bidder has not given any payment term to us. This bidder is asking based on the 7 days due net. Here, let's say 30 days due net. Okay. And if there is deviation from the price, so here like deviation is 400%. Here you can see the variation is 900%, but here you would find like variation is 0%. Okay. That's why system is indicating this in the green as well, that okay, you can go ahead with this quote because this is on the reasonable price, right? So system has having the capability, and system can tell you okay which quote you need to award. But after that, it's your choice, like which quote you want to award. So here, let's say if you have sent the quote for multiple items, you can see all the items here, and then you can see okay, if if bidder has given you any notes or something, you can add those, you can see those notes here. Okay. So if I want to award that quote, I will click on this award button. I can click on OK. If I want to reject, I can click on this cross button, and I can actually reject the quote from the bidder. Okay. So if we have already awarded, then if I open this and if I go to the document flow, here I could see like the purchase order has been created automatically. Okay. So once we have awarded the quote, based on that, system will create the purchase order automatically, and we can actually go with the purchase order processes. Okay. So previously we received this quote a bit late, so it came just after some time. So we could see like that has been arrived to my email boxes. Okay, so that is within my inbox. I can download this quote and I can do the same thing again here. So this is how actually we can use the inbuilt functionality of SAP Business by Design, where we can do the sourcing request. Okay, we can also identify which bidder is giving the best prices to us, which bidder is like actually most flexible to us. So we can do the long-term relationship. So we can do the RFQ not only for the purchase order but for the contract, and on the behalf of contract we can create a purchase order. So this is from the sourcing and contracting side. So any query?
Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Hari.
you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Hari. I have one question. So actually, this is called the sourcing and contracting work centers. I have two questions. One is what types of the report is available in this work center? That's number one. The second question, how we can compare, how we can utilize the PO process and then this sourcing process.
So what all are the reports we have available? So here we can see like lot of reports available. We can see the purchase order history here. Okay, we can see the release document per contract. Okay, we can also see like purchase order per account assignment. Per supplier wise, we can see the contract tracking. So let's say we have the long-term contract for the 15-year, okay, and that is, let's say maybe for 10,000 quantity, we could see, okay, for how much quantity we have already raised the PO and how much quantity is still remaining and how much is the contract quantity. Okay, we could also see the like if you have multiple contracts, let's say maybe you have 20 contracts or 30 contracts, then you could see like how many contracts are going to expire soon, right? And you could also see like the Maverick spend, where actually you don't have any purchase order, but you are directly creating the supplier invoices. So without like the purchase department, if you are doing any spending, you could see the Maverick spending here. Okay, you could also see the monitoring of purchase automatic purchase order creation. So we have a lot of reports here available.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay, so we can actually utilize the number of reports which we have as per the requirement. And the second query was Kevin.
Yeah, the query is do we have the purchasing order process in the by design system?
Correct.
Okay, so I saw when we award any suppliers, it will be PO is automatically created.
Yes, right.
So can you give a little bit more explanation? Because we have in PO, the PO request process in the by design work center.
Yes.
Okay. So which situation the user can use the PO request or the sourcing request?
Okay. So let's say you have already identified the bidder, or let's say if you have already identified the supplier, like so with which supplier actually you want to purchase the product, right? In that case, you can directly go with the purchase order process, because you know from whom you are buying the product. You already know, like you already have the long-term contract with your vendor, and you can buy the product directly by creating a purchase order manually or maybe from the contract, right? But let's say you are in the initial stage, you don't know like which supplier will be more suitable like to buy this particular product. In that case, you can actually go with the sourcing functionality, okay, where you are in the identification of the suppliers. like which supplier will be most suitable for the purchasing this particular product. So in that case, you can go with the RFQ process where you can ask for the request for quotation, and based on the request for quotation, you can actually award that particular supplier based on the quote you have received, and then you can go with the contract or purchase order process.
Mm. Okay, that's great. Very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, so I also had the same question which Kevin asked, that what is the difference between these two, when we can use which one? So it's clear to me also. Thank you, Hari. Is anyone else is having any questions? Okay, then maybe we can close the session.
Yeah, if we don't have any query, then
Yeah.
we can close this session. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Hari.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Hari, for
Okay, thank you,
presenting
Hari.
so
Thank you
well.
very much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Kevin,
Thank you.
I think today's session was a bit disgusting